That's a fun when you're talking to some stranger and you're like, oh, what's Samsung Galaxy? And then eventually the bus comes. And then you can just go on with your day.
Nah, man, you don't know how bus stops work. That ain't what you were talking about.
Well, I read the Louisville bus.
I read
it.
I read the bus. I read the bus of Louisville. I hijacked it.
Who's like, I read the bus, and people are like, oh, he's an everyday Joe riding the bus. He's like, no, I'm getting rid of the bus.
I rid the bus from town.
There's no more bus.
No more.
I am the king of Louisville.
I would love for a mayor to get mayored in. And
yeah, you get mayored in,
sworn in, and then just immediately
female horse kicks you,
and then just immediately he puts on a crown.
Yeah, you can't stop a mayor from wearing a crown.
I declare,
Your Honor. No, I'm doing it as a bit. Yeah, you know, there's those mayors who it's like, oh, the mayor of Reykjavik used to be a comedian.
Yeah, and
he won by running against himself in a dress. He won as himself in a dress.
He was the opposition as a she.
But it's like those people, they probably do dumb stuff as mayor.
Oh, yeah.
But then it's the next guy's got to be like, we need the city board to pass an ordinance that I don't need to wear hot dog shoes. The last guy did a lot of silly stuff. Hey, I know it's precedent, but I don't think I'm going to do the press conference from a toilet seat that everyone can see. I don't think a toilet seat in the center of town hall.
I'm going to quit mooning everyone at the end of every press conference. I don't think it's necessary. Boo! Moon us.
Yeah, how many kids are growing up in Iceland now who are just like, I fucking love politics.
It's so much fun.
That guy, Jon Stewart. They just think it's comedy.
Yeah. Politics are hilarious.
Whereas here in America, we think politics are tragedy.
Yeah, we live in more of a Greek tragedy type thing.
That is kind of true.
No, not really.
No, but it's like a glass half empty.
It's just like Antigone.
What? It's a glass half empty type thing, because it's other people are like, we look at, you look at some weird country and you're like, Somalia's president he's wearing a cowboy hat all the time. He made Tuesday disappear.
He got rid of
6 days a week.
6 days a week, 29 hours a day. I don't want to do
the math, but that's like 8 more weeks a year. That's good. And then we're over here like, that's wild. And then we're like, oh, our guy looks like an orange.
He's an orange.
It's horrible.
It's terrible.
He's making people wear red hats.
He got a spray tan. People are wearing hats.
We're living in hell over here. And then we flip over. We're like, Duterte killed everyone who's not left-handed. That's
crazy.
Wild. What a goof.
What terrible.
We just need a more glass hat. Like if we were just walking around being like, hey, our president's fucking broke a hip because of the wind.
Remember when he fell up the stairs?
That was funny. You see that bike thing?
No. You don't watch The Daily Show every day?
No.
It's daily.
Oh.
So it might be hard for you to catch up now.
How confused was he when he started showing up to work on Saturday, the first Saturday at the job?
Oh, my God. That's embarrassing.
I can't get in. Fuck. Everything's locked. Comedy Central's locked.
Checks his email.
Damn. They're gonna be. I didn't even realize I was late today. Fuck. They already locked me out.
Jesus.
And he comes in on. The same thing happened Sunday, and then he comes in on Monday, and he's like, "This is so awkward.
It's so weird.
I'm just gonna not address the fact that they did 2 episodes without me.
I just won't bring it up.
I won't bring it up. They are really poker facing this.
You know." I don't think it went well. I think I still got my job because I didn't see anything on last night.
Also, I'm not trying to be a slouch, but they seem to be cool with it. I'm just not going to show up ever on Saturdays.
I think, you know what? Let them do their thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a web exclusive. I don't know. I don't have the internet.
I don't have it. I'm Trevor Noah.
I'm a bit of a minimalist.
In a box down by the hill.
I'm a bit of a minimalist. I live in the park.
Ooh.
And people were all into minimalism for a while, but it's like, well, just be homeless then.
Yeah.
What do you need a house for?
People have done that. Sometimes you'll be.
People have done that.
Eric looked shocked. Eric gave me the proper response when I said people have done that. But no, I think people. What were we talking about? I got distracted.
Homeless people. Homeless
No,
people.
because you'll hear, like, I'll listen to stuff about, like, some weird celebrity or, like, political figure or whatever.
Yeah.
Or just some random podcast about a weird guy.
Yeah, fringe figures in America.
Yeah. And they always have shit where it's like, yeah, for 3 years they just bummed around on people's couches. And it's like, well, that's when they were 45 and they'd already won 2 Oscars. So I think, like, Elon Musk, some really rich guy, I remember reading a thing where they were like, yeah, I haven't been to any property I've owned in over a year. I just sleep on people's couches.
Yeah, but those couches
Those
are
couches
nice.
are like spare wings of houses.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they don't even know he's there.
Yeah.
Basically, he's been breaking and entering for 3 years.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think if you're rich enough and well-connected enough, you can just be like, I'm on vacation. Can I sleep in your mansion for 2 months?
Yeah, easily.
And they're like, sure.
Can I sleep in one of your 5 guest houses?
That is what some celebrities, like, you're right. Some celebrity who's all into minimalism and is like, we need to make the world a better place, should be straight up doing, like, they should be on Fallon. Yeah. Just like, Matthew McConaughey thought I was friends with him.
I was using him.
I just like his Texas ranch in the winter.
Okay. Bit of a snowbird.
Anyways, Mad Men season 9.
We're bringing it back.
No, because that one guy from Mad Men is that.
Oh, Vincent Carthésier?
Yeah, but you read it and you're like, all that means is he lives in a small apartment. Which it's like, motherfucker, I live in a small apartment. No, we were talking about testing before the mic. Do you think there's ever like, you're like, hey, the gay bar is doing free testing this weekend. Yeah. And you show up and they're just like,
here's your
gato. SAT. And you're like, cat? And they're like, correct. Pollo. Chicken? Correct.
Correct.
You get an
Manzana?
You are an intro level Spanish. Here's your certificate. Manzana. Apple?
Miércoles.
Oh, that's a day.
That's a day. I think it's Wednesday.
Oh.
I'm guessing.
Weird.
Really pulling that one out
Someone
of my
who just
ass.
really doesn't know. They know very little Spanish and they're trying to have sex in Mexico. Miércoles.
It's hump day.
Thrusting your hips.
It's hump day.
Miércoles. They're like, yeah, we don't really have that concept. It's not.
We're a lot more chill over here. We don't really like look at the week like that.
Yeah. Are you trying to fuck that girl from the Addams Family?
Miércoles.
You know, they're bringing back the Munsters. That's what the cops should be doing.
I kept seeing everybody talking
Bring
about
down all
that.
the monsters.
I kept hearing everybody talking about Eddie Munson, and I'm
Eddie
like, are they talking about? I know Rob Zombie's making a Munsters movie.
I know that's been really.
Did
confusing.
it come out? Like,
sometimes
I guess it's good. You guys won't shut up about the Munsters.
That's true. You know, because they do that. They'll be like Disney made that movie Frozen.
Yeah.
So that when you Google Disney Frozen, it comes up with that movie, and not the fact that Walt Disney is cryogenically frozen.
Well, they just don't want people to be able to fix the fact that their Disney Plus account is frozen.
Yeah, it's frozen. No, but there's like Fast and Furious was like a political scandal right before they started making those movies. But now when you Google Fast and Furious, it's just those movies.
It's just, there's 18
And then
of
you
them.
Google Fast and Furious political scandal. And they're like, are you talking about the plot of Fast and Furious 11?
Fast and Furious 18?
This bill needs to get through fast. No, but like, that's what I think they were doing with the Eddie Munson thing. Is somebody was like, man, fuck Rob Zombie.
We're going to take all his thunder.
We're going to take all the thunder right before. Their other option was they were going to get Munster cheese really big. And they're like...
They're going to put out a whole docu-series.
Do it on Chopped, get some specials.
Yeah,
have a rapper mention it.
Yeah, Post Malone is going to talk about cheese.
Post Malone's going to be like, charcuterie board, Munster, gotta have the Munster.
Gotta have that Munster. Gotta have a Munster.
I don't think he raps anymore.
No, he died. I think he just does
he
Bud Light
died.
commercials.
Yeah.
I think he just does commercials and then goes on talk shows.
There is this. I like watched. This is like when Post Malone was first blowing up, and I was like, I don't know who this guy is. And Vice had one of those. Hey, here's who this guy is.
Hey, are you
video.
also confused?
Hey, are you also in your mid-30s pretending to be cool?
We have a columnist for that.
Yeah. A guy made a 10-minute video. but part of his thing was he was like, I'm rich now. I got like
I wash my hair.
No, he had like a Jaeger cooler that he's like, they fill up.
I'm like, I could buy one of those.
He had like a Natty Ice vending machine that he's like, Natty Ice keeps it stocked, like all that type of shit. And it was one of those moments where I was like, man, if you had terrible taste, you could clean up on endorsements at like such a low level.
Oh yeah, and also
like if you
either one
like
of us
Skull, you'd need like such small Instagram following to get free Skull.
I could get a sponsorship from Taka.
Yeah. Is that the vodka?
Yeah.
Taka.
Treat the Taka like a Tonka toy.
Kimchaka. You know, that was a...
Kachaka?
Kimchaka Khan.
Kachaka.
That was a...
Whoa!
That was... In like 2010, that was the thing I posted on Facebook or something, and people were like, that's hilarious. Like, that was like definitely a tweet that got a little bit of traction.
A pun based on Brazilian rum.
No, Kimchaka. It's like a shitty vodka.
What's Kimchaka? Oh, I thought you were talking about Kachaka. Kachaka? Kachaka? I still don't know how to say it, really.
You say this one, Titty-Kaka.
Titty-Kaka.
Hell yeah. That one's funny because it's like, ha. It's
boob
like,
poop.
Boob poop, exactly.
It doesn't get much better than that.
Funny. Because the boobs are hilarious.
Doesn't get any better than that. Boob poop.
Boob poop.
And it, you know, it's got like vague alliteration.
How is that not a rap gang?
Boob poop.
Young man.
Do you think the baby is ever gonna get old enough and he does want to change his name? He does want to change his name and he has to go.
I'm dropping baby. I'm duh.
He has to go around being like, I'm not a baby.
Baby.
He has to go around and say that on the Breakfast Club 14 times. While Charlemagne shits himself laughing.
There's some tense Studio Q interview where the person's like, duh baby. He's like, I told you not to call me that. He's like, well, if you're acting like, and then he flips the tape.
Well, listen, I mean, you were acting like a little bit of a baby.
Canada's coolest interviewer has been crushed by a table flip about getting snippy with the
Are you saying that the host of Studio Q is the coolest guy after what we've all heard?
No, the guy who replaced him. Shad or whoever.
Chad.
No, I think it's Shad.
Chad.
I think it's Shad.
Chad. Yeah, you're right. It's Chad.
No, that guy was a turkey.
Yeah,
was that
not a
guy's
good
name?
guy. Gian Gomeshi.
That was such a hard scandal to talk about because it was before scandals blew up.
Yeah.
So it was before ever in a scandal.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, oh, did you guys hear about Gian Gomeshi from Studio Q? And then the lady bagging your groceries is just like, what's that?
What do you mean?
My daughter told me about Avenue Q. They don't correct people. But Jeff Lynne always intended that band to be referred to as Hello.
Hello.
Hello. That's why they got that song, The Telephone Song.
Hello.
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 You know, what Alexander Graham Bell wanted people to say when they answered the phone?
Fuck me, Alexander Graham Bell. Fuck me.
My husband's gone. My husband's left by carriage for the fortnight.
How many phone calls do you think Alexander Graham Bell was listening in on at the beginning?
Oh. What's this cord that goes out here from the switchboard?
Nothing.
It says AG's God line. It says AGB Master. And they're just headphones. It leads to a chair with headphones and a pipe.
And a big handkerchief.
Big handkerchief.
I would have said Kleenex, but I'm trying to be era appropriate.
You know, I saw someone use...
They didn't have Kleenex back then.
Oh, I wasn't saying he was
They didn't
masturbating.
have Kleenex
No,
back
I
then.
know.
It was a different time.
I know.
They had to have a handkerchief.
I wasn't saying
He was masturbating.
I wasn't saying he was masturbating. I was picturing more as just he's an eccentric man. That's his fun.
He's the voyeur.
He sits, yeah, exactly. Like he's sitting in the corner with a pipe and like a glass of scotch. Ah, the calls.
I love calls.
Honey, I'm having my calls.
He's got his port.
He's just
And a
listening to
biscuit.
people not know how the phone works.
They're yelling. They're so loud because they don't understand. You don't have to do that.
Yelling into the earpiece. So it's muffled yelling.
It's like, and people just think that how phone calls start is you start yelling and then you hear from the other end, Jesus!
Yeah.
And then your friend goes, who said that?
And then someone brings into the future, and they're like, in the future, Alexander, people just put all of their information out in public, so you can just eavesdrop them by looking at Instagram or whatever. And then he goes, eavesdropping? I was into noise music. Early phone calls fucking sucked.
They were so
bunch
bad.
Of static and yelling.
Yeah.
Can you take me to a noise?
Can you take me to a
show?
Mersbo show?
Yeah. Somehow I know about the future.
I'm aware of the future.
I know about lightning bolt.
I'm aware of the future.
I'm aware of the future. What's that?
Nah, nothing. What? Did you think that was in quotation marks?
I thought that was a quote. I thought there was some classic 30 Rock moment where Jeff Goldblum goes, I'm aware of the future.
Was Jeff Goldblum ever on 30 Rock?
I don't
He
know.
seems
That's
like
kind of why I
somebody who
said
should have
it.
been a guest star.
Yeah, that's kind of why. That's why I said.
I mean, they got fucking Matthew Broderick and not Jeff Goldblum.
You're telling me that
convicted murderer.
Yeah, that's true.
That man doesn't deserve an old Spanish.
You know, there's a
what
lot-
he does deserve an old Spanish.
You know, you really think about 30 Rock.
What's an old Spanish again?
At least
Red wine, olives, and
red wine, tonic water,
and olives.
I think that's what it is.
Pretty sure.
No, man, if you think about 30 Rock, at least 2 people are murderers.
That's true. At least
Someone else on that show must have killed
someone
somebody.
has probably killed somebody.
There
Judah
must be.
Friedlander seems like he you know, people say, I mean, he destroys hecklers.
He did.
I bet one of his hecklers went home and killed himself.
Tracy Morgan, this sounds like I'm being bad, but Tracy Morgan and
realistic.
.com grew up in a very rough upbringing.
Neighborhood.
I read the first part of his autobiography once.
The first part?
Well, I was giving it to
Is
someone.
that how it's separated?
I bought it, yeah. He's like, and then I met Lorne. Part
Second
2
part.
coming fall 2012. I bought it for someone for a gift.
Yeah.
And then I was like, ooh, I'm going to read it before their birthday.
Yeah, of course.
And then I did not read it. I didn't do it. I didn't block out time properly.
Who did you buy that for?
A girl I liked in college.
Oh.
She's the one who showed me 30 Rock.
Oh.
She went, hey, you love Scrubs, right? And I went, yeah.
Remember when Dr. Cox was a drunk?
That's part of the whole thing, I think. No, it's separate.
I think that's
he's
a separate
drunk
thing.
because
He's a drunk
gives...
later.
Do you remember why he's a drunk?
It's something that happened to the patient.
Patient, they were like, we think the patient...
On this hospital show, a doctor is sad because of something with the patient.
Something with the patient. I mean,
I think I nailed it.
No, he's like, they're like, oh, this kid has a bunch of good organs, but he might have rabies.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Cox is like, I bet it was autoerotic asphyxiation.
I think he's...
They're like, no, you should probably check. He's like, nah, I know this. I think this kid and I are on the same forums.
I know. I think I
Dr.
recognize
Cox's big
him.
rope burn around his neck.
I think I recognize him.
I know this guy. And then he gave a bunch of people the organs.
And then they all
those
died.
people died.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Cox had to go to each one of those patients' families and be like, I thought he was a guy from my autoerotic asphyxiation forum.
I figured his organs were good.
I thought they were. Well, I know one of them's not good.
I know one of them. I
Because
mean,
if it was good, he could just think of a lovely
he could just
woman.
think of breasts. He could just close his eye.
He wouldn't need
His
to-
eye. He only had one eye.
I mean, he was trying to close all 3 of his eyes with that damn rope. And then, because it worked a little too well. Trying to close 3 eyes, open up the one-eyed snake.
Do you think there's ever a hippie who like?
Yeah, has anyone ever successfully autoerotic asphyxiate, but then they die? And then the person's like, oh my God, he's dead. And they slip in the cum. People are probably like, I've got just enough testosterone and muscular strength to undo this knot when I need to. And then they come and they're like, I'm just fucking I'm gonna take a nap.
I mean, we've already gone too far. People are into this knife play now. That's what these kids are into.
Is that?
Did you know that? These kids.
I did.
They just love getting. No.
These kids love getting stabbed. Well, that's fascinating. We'll return with our interview with Freddy. Freddy Krueger. I forgot his last name. Krueger. That must have been confusing when Keurig came out. Do you think when Keurig did come out, the coffee maker?
What does that have to do with
there
Krueger,
was ever
Keurig?
A meeting where they were like, well, people might think like Freddy Krueger.
Krueger.
And they just stare at that guy until his contract expires.
You know what? We're going to wait that comment out. Sit there for a year and a half.
Well, now that he's no longer with us,
we
what
can
a
move
dumbass
on.
fucking point.
What a fucking moron. Just didn't want to get in trouble with HR on that one.
It's
Can
a
we all
coffee
agree?
machine, and it makes it out of little pods. It's a thing of your individual dream. Not a nightmare.
Not a nightmare.
Not a collective nightmare.
Oh.
You ever see those movies?
What if these pods cast a pall on the environment?
I was about to say, it's they should call it the Krueger machine, 'cause that thing's killing
the planet.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I saw I got like a Google story the other day that was like, hey,
you got an email.
You got an email.
Breaking news, you
Your
got an email.
Insurance policy is canceled. No, man, I got one where it was like, hey, global warming isn't as bad as scientists and everybody are saying. And then the subtext was like, I know that like dumb people say this exact thing all the time, but seriously,
listen, I'm not saying it's not bad.
It was great. It was so funny.
How could you say that right now?
I know, right?
Literally all the shit that I was screaming about like 3 years ago to you is like now happening.
What, you mean it's hot out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And people are dying.
You were really smart predicting that July would be...
All right.
Hey, I'm going to call it January in 5 years is going to be a bit nippy.
All right. I was more talking about the deaths, but whatever.
Who's dead?
The blood.
Name one person that we both personally know who has died of climate change. You can't.
You can't, and you're wrong.
Yeah, during quarantine, everyone's like, you don't know anyone who's died of COVID. It's like, I don't know anybody. I've been living in my apartment alone for 6 months. Stop pointing out how lonely I am.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And first of all, I didn't know a whole lot of people before this.
Yeah.
I was already down to about 4 friends.
It'd be weird if my 4 friends texted me their health updates.
We're not in our late 70s.
Hey,
we don't have to give each other updates.
Hey, I know we haven't seen each other at the bar, the only place we interact. But my tummy hurts.
Wichita,
tied to your malai,
it's an incantation.
Yeah. No, it's a song from the 60s. Wichita toe.
So what'd you do with your week off? We took a little break.
Oh, I was like, from what? I don't have a job. I'm independently wealthy. I'm inventing bad flavors of Pop-Tarts that Pop-Tarts then buys out of fear that I will make them independently.
And besmirch their name.
Them.
Besmirch their name.
It's like when you find out a competing movie is in development.
Yeah, and you buy it out, bury it.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is mad.
They buy out my orange cinnamon flavor.
Hey, that doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds like a perfume scent.
Orange cinnamon. Yeah, but not as a Pop-Tart.
Perfume smells good.
Pop-Tarts aren't really tart.
Perfume smells good. That's
Perfume
true.
does smell good.
And smell is a part of taste.
But Pop-Tarts, like, you aren't like, ooh.
That's true. They aren't very tart.
It's a sweet treat.
It's hardly. Does Sour Patch Kids need to get like a Sour Patch Kid stuffed Pop-Tart?
Yeah.
Put that in your toaster. It melts, burns it down.
Sour Patch Kids energy drinks.
That's a thing?
Yeah, and I always see them, and I'm like, that's absurd. And then I see some people buy them. Like, every time when I, like, notice it, someone instantly buys one.
I mean, that's how I feel about every energy drink. Like, I look at that shelf, and I'm just like, who's buying Bang? The flavor
Eric's pointing at my energy drink shelf.
The flavor is called, like, Unicorn Rainbow.
Bang.
Bang.
Well, Bang, I buy it because I'm like, I'm going to have sex.
I want to bang.
I'm going to have sex with this cup. I put it into a cup.
It would be a good way to like.
You're drinking an energy drink on. I guess people do it at the bar, so I guess it's not that interesting. Never mind.
Never mind. I buy bangs, but it's so like if I'm trying to pick up a lady at a bar, I'm like, "Do you want a bang?" And then if I can see that she doesn't want a bang, I pull a bang out of my pocket. I'm like, "No, you just look tired."
Yeah, you looked sleepy.
You looked sleepy.
And then they drink it, and then you go, "Now do you want to
now
have sex?
Now do you want to bang?" And then they're like, no, I don't. And you just pull 2 more bangs. I'm like, no, you still look sleepy. I got 2 bangs.
I got 2 bangs. And then about another 10 minutes of that.
And then
and you're having sex with a very energized lady.
And then, well, no, then like
everywhere.
Then like a little bit later, you're sitting there. Her friend shows up, and you're like, do you want to 3 bang? Do you 3 bang?
3 bang.
And then they say no, and you just pull more bang. You got big pockets. You're wearing cargo pants.
You go, and then another person comes over and you go, my pants are getting tight. Why? 4 bang.
They're like, no, we still don't want to have
all those condoms. 4 bang. And you put down the condom. You pull out
4 bangs. I wrap them up like gifts.
4 bang.
Yeah, that's gonna be my new plan. I'm a bit of a pickup artist.
Don't go home with
Call
that
me
guy.
Mystery.
He's a monster.
Call me Mystery, baby.
Mystery.
I got all the hookup tips.
You think there's ever like a lady who comes out and then she's like, I'm gonna be a female artist, and you know me, I'm horny. I love getting wood, and hey, I'm not married. Might as well call me Miss Tree. I'm Miss Tree. That would be awesome to see a woman dressed like a male pickup artist, like dressed like
big fuzzy top hat,
fuzzy hat.
You got big goggles on.
Yeah, weird makeup.
You're wearing like somehow your pants are steampunk. Like you got like gears all over your pants. I got these gears on my pants because I love grinding.
You know what? That's probably the idea is like those pickup artists dress like steampunk stuff, like Victorian era shit. And then people subconsciously are like, oh, if I don't find a man, I will live on the streets the second my father perishes. Subconsciously, they're like, an unwed woman at my age is unseemly.
What will people think of me? I'll get no respect at the bakery.
No respect.
No respect at all.
I don't get any respect at all. Someone needs to make a movie where like it's like a big budget Barry Lyndon type period piece. Just some monarch. I don't get no respect at all.
No respect. No respect at all. I'm trying to think of something.
So your wife is here. Then the camera pans over. It's just a guy bringing a horse into the room.
No respect.
No respect at all.
No respect at all. I'm trying to think of more examples, and it's just not happening for me.
Sir, there's a photo of you in the stable. Why, that's a horse's ass.
I get no respect. None at all. None at all.
Some kids, some fathers' legions, some kings' legions are out there smoking the opium wars. My son's home smoking opium. No respect.
No respect at all.
That's one. Most.
I went to my tailor
Most kids are out home. Most kids are out smoking the grass. No, wait, what? My son is good.
My son is good.
Everyone else is shit. My whole life is shit. But hey, I got a good kid. I got a good son. My middle son is good. Most kids are out smoking the grass. Mine's at home cutting it.
Cutting.
Well, now it's back to Rodney. He was kind of like a king.
These kids are out there. They're cutting the grass. My kids, he's just sitting at home, just cutting himself. I get no respect.
I get no respect.
It's like he wants
to write new Rodney joke. Repurpose some old one.
That's not a thing of no respect either. I'm trying to figure out how that's not respecting his father.
That's not respecting your father. Hey, I gave you those arms.
I gave you them arms. Those arms are made out of my cum.
What, you think gauze grows on trees?
No respect. No respect at all.
I asked a guy for a double. I asked the bartender for a double. He brought out a guy who looked like me. Was that joke? Like, what is that
so
even?
Insane.
If that happened, like, how is that no respect? B, how is that anything other than what?
If that happened to me, my first response wouldn't be like, this guy has no respect for me.
Yeah, this person has no respect.
I would be like, well, this man he's got a lot of respect for me. This is an elaborate gag. He's really trying to make me laugh. He knows I order a double. He's been out looking around for a guy that looks like me. He remembers when I come in.
The guy's willing to hide.
I've been in that closet because I come here a lot. I'm cool, Sometimes they need help. I get them ice, whatever. I'm a good guy. I've been in the closet. Spend a lot of time in the closet. I get no respect.
No respect
from the gay man.
Here's one that I can only think of it in the regular way. I can only think of it in a positive way. But somehow I'm sure Rodney could flip it. I asked the bartender for a tall drink of water. He brought out a lovely lady for me to have.
It's for me to have her.
And it was free. I said a tip. And I said, I'll be doing more than tipping, pal.
I'll do more than tipping. Tipping canoe. I'm going to put a canoe in her pussy. Tip and canoe.
You guys were having sex in that canoe all over the lake. No, it tipped.
Tip in canoe.
Really work.
Tip in canoe.
No, it's they just tipped the canoe.
They just tipped the canoe. We just tip a canoe.
Did you guys ride that canoe?
Just tipped it.
And then you're standing.
We just flipped it over.
You're standing waist deep in the water. You go, just the tip.
Just the tip.
You're waist deep in water, lifting an upside down canoe. Just the tip.
Just a tip. I wasn't riding.
That would be fun. I do love a canoe, kayak, whatever.
Swan,
jet.
Tube.
Duck l'orange.
Duck l'orange.
That one's funny because you're like, I don't speak for. Oh, wait, never mind. I know what that is.
Croque du madame. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, it's like a sandwich.
Well, I don't know. How is that? That's not as obvious as duck L orange.
Well, you just read the menu.
What is a croak?
A frog noise?
Frog.
So it's frog legs.
Frog legs.
By a lady.
Is it frog legs?
No.
Damn.
It's like a ham sandwich. I don't know.
I
should know. I sell it at my new job.
Whoa! You sell fancy sandwiches? Where you work a golf course? Fucking the ninth hole.
It's not even that
you
fancy.
Got a little stand.
It's just a regular sandwich with like
Croque du Monsieur.
Yeah.
Golf ball.
It's just like a regular sandwich with bechamel sauce and fucking an egg on top.
Well, no one's gonna be able to narrow down where you work now. That's a classic Louisville dish.
Remember when that was crazy?
Remember we were talking about Post Malone?
Times have changed, man. People used to think Eminem didn't deserve to live.
People hated Eminem so much they bankrupted the American motor industry.
We're like, if we just destroy Detroit, maybe we'll get Eminem in the process.
Yeah. He'll never be selling his... And now he's forced to sell his mom's spaghetti
He's gotta
out of
go.
a fucking little, like, trailer.
That's disgusting. Not even good spaghetti.
I heard it's fine.
It's not as good as when I take over fucking Fazoli's.
Well, now I see where this bias and angry bias comes in. No, you seen that? You can get spaghetti late at night.
Sure, man. That's what
fun.
a fucking privilege.
It's so
the only
funny.
food that a drunk person can cook.
It's so funny to see, like, because I've looked at that website before. I was confused about what that place was. I was fascinated by it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'll probably go there next time I'm in Detroit.
Oh my god, don't do that.
It's a little
to
too
yourself.
expensive.
Of course, it's too expensive.
It's like $2. Not as expensive as you think, but it's like $1 or $2 too much, I'd say.
Okay.
But it's very funny because they're just like, finally, you can get street food spaghetti at night in downtown Detroit.
Go home.
From a celebrity.
Go
It's like,
home.
was any of that on my checklist?
How do you not have everything for spaghetti at home?
Street food spaghetti. Well, this is perfect because you're leaving like a big game. You're leaving a Pistons game, and you're like, God, I need a couple balls.
Wait, hey, you said big game. It's a Pistons game.
You don't know enough about basketball to make that joke.
Hey, but it worked.
It did work.
You laughed.
You're going to the Joe Louis Arena, riding that dumb little trolley.
Sure.
You didn't ride the trolley when you were there?
I was in Detroit for like 26 hours.
Yeah, and you could have seen more.
I could have seen
hopped
more.
on a trolley.
Had a terrible tour guide.
Who was your tour guide?
Someone who'd never been to Detroit.
I was going to say an angry girlfriend.
An angry girlfriend who'd never been to Detroit.
That sounds fun.
Let's move to Detroit.
Timberlands. I almost did instead of moving to Louisville.
Yeah, you want to do it now?
No.
Why not?
This is a bigger city now. Detroit's probably more expensive than Louisville.
Is it?
Yeah.
What if you don't live in Detroit?
We live in one of the nicer suburbs. Detroit's one of those cities where you're like, well, I live on the outskirts. It's like, oh, you mean the rich area?
Oh, you mean you have money?
Yeah.
You're moneyed.
Well, no, I live on the far outskirts. Oh, it's like where CEOs of motor companies live?
Even more money, you mean?
Oh, I live on the outskirts of that. So you mean Saginaw?
Yeah, so you don't live in
So
Detroit.
you're gonna live in. So you're gonna move to Kalamazoo, which would be fine.
Is Detroit really expensive now, you think?
Probably. I mean, it's a city. It's like
It's always been a city, baby.
No, but it's like Detroit. When I was looking to move there, it really was like a big piece of shit.
Fucking piece of shit.
I don't know what I would Google. Is Detroit expensive?
I mean, yeah, it'll
This is
come
why
up.
a producer is so important. Joe Rogan just goes, "Are birds tall?" Then Jamie goes,
There's some that
Jamie
are
somehow
tall.
knows he means in relation to humans, and he means
Yeah,
you know.
he gets all the context in.
Yeah. Detroit's housing expenses are 3% higher than the national average.
Wow, but only 3%.
Transportation expenses like bus fare and gas are 6% higher. Groceries are 2% higher. Why did they? Who? It says who. This one says it's lower than the national average, but it's rising.
Well, of course, inflation.
I don't think that clicking on the questions where it's like how expensive those things,
Yeah.
the little drop down.
Yeah.
I'm getting conflicting information. Known for its low cost of living, Detroit falls between wealth in terms of. You get it.
I don't get it. That wasn't a complete sentence.
Well, let's
You
just
stopped that sentence before you gave me any
let's just type
information.
Detroit versus Louisville, and I ain't talking about ABA championships from the 70s.
I am. Let's look that up. Who's the reigning champ for when the ABA comes back?
I don't know. The Colonels. I think the Kentucky team.
The American Base Association. You're a part of that, right?
Boom, boom, boom. I am. Yeah. I would love to be that. All right.
Yeah.
Well, this says that the Detroit Titans beat the Louisville Cardinals. They beat them in losing 67-70. In my mind, the first team would be the winner. I said beat them, judging by which team was on the left. But then the scores.
Well, they beat them in losing.
Compare cities, people. Bestplaces.net is definitely going to have.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's about as good as 1, 2, 3 baby names.
I don't know what to do with this stat. But Louisville is 0% more densely populated than Detroit. They can hear the highlight. That's one of the 3 highlights for comparing the 2 cities.
We're just going to give you the highlights.
That Louisville is 0% more densely populated.
Is it 0% less
I don't
as well?
know. I don't know what to do with that. People are 68.1% more likely to be married in Louisville.
What the fuck are these statistics?
These are the 3 highlights.
Doesn't everybody in Detroit cheat on each other? Isn't that a thing you told me?
No, it's Philly.
Oh, okay.
Everyone in Detroit's faithfully married.
Same thing.
The median age in Louisville.
No, it sounds like people in Louisville are faithfully married.
Median
Well,
age,
they just says married.
That's true. The median age in Louisville is 2.5 years older.
Cool.
Those are their 3 big highlights.
So if I move to Detroit, I like basically turn 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah. I love the average age because it's like, well, that's not like what?
Not at all important
That's
to me.
not gonna help. Like, what the fuck does that?
Yeah. When I'm
Might have
researching,
old, elderly people or young babies. I don't fucking know.
when I'm researching a town, I'm like, what's the average age?
Yeah, my average. If we include everybody,
What's the average age? 30? Oh.
what's the collective age? What's the collective age for your town? Yeah, Detroit's bigger, man.
I know it's fucking big. But it's a fucking big hunk of shit. No, it was beautiful when I went
Estimated population age 0 to 4 years old.
What?
In Detroit, there's 7.3 of the population is 0 to 4. How much you think in Louisville? You think we got more or less toddlers in Detroit per capita?
We got less.
Yeah, you're right. So we're at 6.6. But hey, Louisville and Detroit are both higher than the national average. A lot of fucking babies in these
Popping
stats.
out babies left and right.
These stats are awesome. Why would anyone need to know this? Hey, how many 10 to 14-year-olds are there per capita?
If you're looking that up, something's wrong. That should be illegal information. That shouldn't be released.
Isn't it a lake?
I don't know.
Was it across the river? Was it Canada?
Yes.
I think that's a lake.
That's a lake?
I
Okay, well, it's a
think
lake.
so.
It's a lakefront walk then.
St. Lawrence.
What's the fucking difference?
Wow.
It was just as
Do you
big
really
as the
not know the difference?
It was just as big as the Ohio.
the Ohio River.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was just
okay.
as big.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a lake or a river. God, if only that map was closer.
only
No,
that-
it looks like a river between the 2 lakes.
I don't know how you can see any of that. I can't even read.
I can't even piss my pants anymore. I got an electric diaper. No, I think it's a river between 2 Great Lakes.
Sure.
You really don't know the difference between a river and a lake.
Yes, I know the difference between
What's
a
the
river
difference
and a lake.
then?
A river runs into the ocean.
One of them has bass. A river doesn't run into the ocean.
It runs into it.
I mean, they all do eventually.
Lakes don't. Lakes are enclosed bodies of water.
Yeah, but not all.
Or is that a pond?
You really don't know. I mean, I'm not realizing I don't either.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
No, man,
Rivers
a river
run
moves.
into the ocean.
A river moves.
Oh, that's how you're describing the difference between a
I
river and a
think so.
lake?
I think so.
I don't think that is not the only. That is a difference, I think, but I don't think that is the main difference.
All rivers come from a mountain.
I don't think that's true at all.
Well, what is a lake then?
It's an enclosed body of water, dumbass.
Like the ocean.
I guess everything is enclosed.
The ocean's an open body of water.
Well, but it's enclosed by Earth. It doesn't run out into
It's
fucking
more so
space,
like
does
Earth
it?
is enclosed by the ocean.
It doesn't fucking run out into space, does it? The
That
ocean.
is true.
So it's fucking enclosed by something. Fucking gravity, bitch.
You know what? You'll see that in like cartoons where people are like, we turned off gravity.
Yeah.
But if you turned off gravity on Earth, the ocean would just...
We'd be fucked.
Like, when it turned back on, flood.
Big flood.
That's probably what Noah's
Ark was. He built an anti-gravity machine.
He built an anti-gravity... Well, no, Noah's Ark was to kill a bunch of giants. Angels...
I think the term is golems.
I call them Angelians.
Anglicans?
I think they're two are one and the same.
Anglicans?
I call them Anglicans.
I call them Anglicans.
Angels came down and they were like, hey, let's fuck some of these people. And then they made these like horrible monster giants.
Okay.
It was all in the Bible. And then God was like, yikes.
Big whoops.
Yeah. I'm gonna. I know they say don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
But boy, oh boy.
But I'm gonna pick the cutest four. I'm gonna pick the cutest family.
This Noah guy.
One of these families is cute. I don't want to play favorites, but you guys get a boat.
You guys are. I'm gonna give you a big old boat.
I want to play favorites, but nap time's coming up, so maybe go sit over by the blankets so you can get first call.
You can get the one you like.
There must have been some because people had boats.
Yeah.
Like boating was. It wasn't like people were like, "What is Noah building?
What the fuck is that thing?"
Like people had boats. There must have been some fucking guy just on a boat.
And Noah's just sniping him with two cans.
Yeah, like what happened to that guy?
Do you think there were any? Never mind. I was about to be like, do you think there were any of this animal on Noah's Ark? And it's like, yeah, probably.
A whale?
Probably.
If I was Noah, I would have, instead of putting the whales on the Ark, I would have taped them to the bottom.
Yeah.
And used like a motor.
Yeah, use them like propeller.
Were people tubing out there? That's another good question.
Yeah.
Noah had kids.
Yeah. It must be fun.
Those kids are probably bored.
Yeah.
And another question. Is a monkey an acceptable signal for the tuber? Because you got to have the boat driver and you have someone looking back to be like, they fell off.
Yeah, stop the boat.
They bit a goose because their mouth was open and they hit a wave.
They Fabio'd it. Remember Fabio?
Yeah.
What's he up to?
Fucking? I don't think so.
I bet Fabio's getting his dick sucked right now.
That would be awesome if so. That'd be cool if
we could check that out.
Yeah, if there was a way to somehow like call into Fabio, and he's just like, guys,
come on.
Yeah, like maybe if you can guess what someone's doing, you get to see it.
That would be great. Yeah.
No, my big thing now is Barry Manilow he came out of the closet 5 years ago.
I did not know that.
As his 77-year-old man.
I did not know that.
Excuse me.
Who's Barry Manilow again?
He's a singer from the 70s. He did like At the Copa.
Is he like the romantic guy?
I don't know what that means. Are you referencing a date you went on?
I'm just gonna look
guy
up.
I took that flight with, and we then stopped at the airport bar when we landed.
I'm just gonna look up Drew
Barry Manilow. I'm like, hey, Drew Barry Manilow. There's a Twitter name.
Oh, this guy. Yeah. No, I don't know who I was thinking of.
Who were you thinking of?
The old guy, the super old guy. He puts out like Christmas records.
Tom Jones?
No, the other one.
Frank Sinatra.
No, sort of a contemporary of Frank Sinatra.
Dean Martin.
No.
Sammy Davis Jr.
What the fuck is this guy's name?
Ladies and gentlemen, Sammy Davis Jr.
Old Josh White Man Groban. Christmas.
Harry Connick Jr.
Christmas.
Oh, Bob Dylan.
Lady Gaga.
Oh, Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett. Yeah. There we go.
I knew I could get to this just off my brain.
Yeah, Tony Bennett.
Yeah, because Tony Bennett famously did that duet with Lady Gaga.
Yeah. He kind of looks like Barry Manilow.
I don't give myself enough credit. I know pop culture.
I pulled Tony Bennett out of my ass.
I know that Tony Bennett did a duet album with Lady Gaga. I'm over here. I need to cut myself more slack.
I bet if we talked to a teenager and we were like, oh yeah, Lady Gaga, they'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No fucking idea what's going on. No, I went to the show.
You mean that one who did the Italian accent?
Hey, I went to the show at a skate park.
Oh yeah, I saw that. How was
That's how
it?
cool I was.
Did you go see Belushi Speedball?
I left before they played.
Another sponsor of the show.
Another
That was like the
sponsor
whole
of the show.
point of that fucking festival. Why would you miss that part?
'Cause I just wanted to go for a little bit. And also it seemed
You
dangerous.
missed the coolest
I
part.
was worried about danger.
You missed the coolest
No, I was
part.
worried about danger. People were being dangerous even for the earlier band.
It's hardcore.
It was in a big skate park. No one had helmets. Not even the skaters.
Where people weren't skating.
Well, there were some people skating around, but not like in the mosh pit.
Yeah.
But that would suck if you were like, fuck.
If I was on a skateboard in the middle of a mosh pit, I'd fall off so fast.
No, but if you were like, I just wanted to skate.
What the fuck?
I don't even like punk rock.
I was trying to do a wheelie.
I'm one of those skaters who likes jazz.
Yeah.
You know, one of the good ones.
Yeah. One of the good ones. You
One of the
would
good
think that about people.
Like Tony Bennett.
Like Tony Bennett.
Tony Alpha, Tony Bennett.
Barry Manilow.
Doug Samson. No, that punk show, though, every shirt was present.
Every shirt?
Every shirt. Name a band. Name a band who has a shirt.
The Descendants.
Yes.
Yellow Card.
Ooh, I don't think I would recognize it, but I bet somebody did have an ironic
Yellow Card shirt.
Maybe not even ironic. Maybe it's their mom's hand-me-down yellow card.
They could have
shirt.
easily happened. There were probably a bunch of like 12-year-olds there.
Yeah, they were kids of all ages.
Okay.
Which in my mind,
Kids of all ages.
yeah, I would say a third of it was high school kids. A third of it was like early 20s kids.
Yeah.
And then the other third was like 25 and above.
Okay.
Uh,
And you were the oldest person there.
I for a little bit, but then I kept noticing older people, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make fun of that guy.
I gotta establish
Yeah,
dominance
exactly.
with the teens.
I'm just gonna keep going. Who invited Grandpa?
It's a guy who's 6 months older than you.
Yeah. The guy's younger than me, but has gray hair.
Yeah.
He has a job.
Yeah. Just a guy who had a kid at 19.
Yeah.
He just looks old and stressed.
No, there were kids there too, man.
Yeah, there were a lot of kids there.
I mean, literal kids too.
Did you see anyone?
All kinds of kids.
Did you see anyone taking advantage of young children and tell them to stop?
No, but I did at one point. I was like, in my mind, I was like, it'd be fun to like start a betting pool that was like, what percentage of the people in these bands will be canceled by next year? So that'd be a fun bet. We all put money in. I'll keep a little Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
We come back next year. You won the $80.
It was the guy from Dump Truck Piss.
It was the guy from Fuck Bus. Turns out the lady who plays keyboards in Fuck Bus is not cool.
Bad gal.
That's one of the bands.
I think, yeah, and they're all canceled.
They're all bad. No, but that show, in my mind, I'm like, all right, well, people with tattoos and crazy hair are older.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking around, I'm like, oh, it's summertime. They're like baby with orange hair. Here's why I have no idea.
Yeah, they're allowed to get a little crazy during summer.
Yeah,
Your parents are like, listen, wait until
Exactly.
summer and you can dye your hair fucking whatever stupid color you want.
Yeah. So I don't remember
But
why.
come fall,
Come fall.
I'm shaving you bare.
Yeah. That's probably how Chris D'Elia got in trouble.
I'm shaving you bare.
He got in trouble because it was in the summertime.
He just didn't
And
know.
he was like, well, this person has purple hair and what appears to be a tattoo.
They seem
He
fine.
had no way to know it was henna.
They have no idea.
And that once August comes around, you're washing that purple out, young lady. No, that show, it was wild seeing all the punks. Nobody likes music, though.
Oi.
It was wild. There's so many people, and they're all just like the bands are just performing for cameras.
Yeah.
And then all the people in the crowd are just like, this is awesome. We're dancing to a band.
Yeah.
Nobody's like watching the band. No one's like,
I think that's what dancing is. You enjoy music. This is one of the most autistic things you've ever said. I was watching people dance to a band, and I found it unacceptable. They should watch silently and stare.
No, but
what the fuck is wrong with you?
No, but it was
I saw people dancing. It's not. I can't even comprehend how that might mean they were enjoying the music.
I saw a man hold hands with a woman. I can't. I don't process. No, I've been to shows. No, it was like the mosh pit was the star of the show.
Well, they're young kids letting out aggression.
No, but we're older people too.
They're older people letting out aggression then against
No, but they
teens.
weren't. They aren't really It's not like people are like.
What are these things?
No one's leaving
saying?
the pit with like broken eye sockets.
It's because there's children in there.
Yeah.
That's
what I mean
also
is like,
just not what a mosh pit is anymore,
I feel like
man. It's
people
not
were-
Woodstock 99
Yeah.
where you rape a girl who's covered in shit.
Times they are changed.
You fucking gently mosh because you understand that there's children there.
But it's like people aren't watching the band. They aren't looking at the stage.
They're dancing.
They're looking at the pit.
They're dancing.
I keep calling it a pit. It's like, well, I guess because it was in a bowl.
It wasn't a pit.
It was in a bowl.
That's a pit.
It's a pit.
It's a
Just throw dirt and trash in a skate park bowl. I thought that was just some kind of pit. I thought it was just sort of the city pit. No, but it's like,
a mosh pit is entertaining to watch.
in my day, you go and you're like, yeah, we all fucking love Creed.
Yeah.
And then everybody just getting into Creed and the energy collectively, like, let's all hold our arms open.
An arms wide
Together.
open.
and now I feel like the kids go and they're like, let's all hold our arms open. And then Creed's like, we aren't even playing that song. We're playing one of our songs from the Scorpion King soundtrack.
Listen, man, why don't you enjoy your general admission tickets to Tony Bennett, you old man? You can sit there and just stare at him.
I guess what I'm trying to say is those kids definitely don't know who Tony Bennett is. If I would have somehow commandeered the mic and first off, everyone should be wearing helmets. I don't care if you are on a board.
This ground is hard.
This is a hard ground. It's uneven by design.
That's how it's built.
Yeah.
You're gonna fall over. You're gonna want elbow pads too. Maybe a wrist brace
When I
so
was
you don't
getting-
fracture your thumb.
I was getting into the bowl at one point. And
I bet you were getting into the bowl. Fucking
Ew. I was getting into the
soup.
that soup is hot. I shouldn't have taken such a big sip. I'm getting into the bowl and I'm like, I'm wearing sandals. And I'm sliding.
Fucking.
And then I'm like, in my mind, I'm just like, man, they need to get some like traction. They should get like
Sandpaper.
yeah, they need to get some like steps in this thing. Some solid. You know what I mean?
That is
something
true.
to
I get they
grip.
don't. There isn't a way for people to get in there unless they're like dropping in.
There is a little sort of entrance, like in one end.
Yeah.
But even then, you have to like go down a little bit of a thing.
Yeah.
To get up it, I took my sandals off.
You went bare.
I went bare.
Bareback.
Yeah.
You bareback. You be bareback to the skate
I
park.
bareback to the skate. There was this awesome. I'm just now remembering this, but I was watching because I was sitting up on the lip of the bowl for most of the time we were there.
Yeah.
And we were just watching the pit.
We.
With the band. My girlfriend went. I went. And we were.
But she loves hardcore
She
music.
loves punk rock.
She does.
She's
She's got an Invader Zim thing on her car,
and
so she's
purple hair.
she's pretty punk rock.
No,
She was wearing a yellow card
She
shirt.
the whole time was like, "We got to get out of here. This is gonna be
I'm
a riot in a
scared.
second." No, it was like there's a bunch of high school kids. So it's like people are just it's just a hangout.
Yeah.
So it's like three probably like high school kids, like just out of high school. Girls are like, "Woo!" and they're like going into the pit thing.
Yeah.
And kind of having fun. And for the most part, it's just a fun pit at this
Yeah.
point of the show. And then this
for children.
other girl who was there, who was also like a weird high school kid.
Yeah.
But she was in the pit heavy.
Oh,
Anytime
yeah.
we get heavy, she was front and center.
Oh, yeah.
She sees these three girls just having fun. She runs in, just starts throwing bows.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
real hard pushing.
Hell yeah.
Like,
and you called it a pussy pit.
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I guess we
you
cut
implied
that part.
it. You implied it.
Yeah. No, it was very funny because it was totally that thing where she was like, I'm 19. I know what punk rock is.
Hitting women.
Fucking like these fucking preppy girls. Like, I don't know what you call. I don't know what the equivalent of that is for those kids.
Yeah, I don't think those kids
These
exist anymore.
sorority girls. Like,
yeah, I don't know what the cliques are these days.
yeah, but it was so funny because I just visually got from like a bird's eye view, got to see just some girl be a bitch to 3 girls having fun. And it was funny because in your mind, you're like, oh yeah, those 3 girls are never going to go to a fucking concert ever again.
Yeah. They might go see Tony Bennett.
They probably would go see Tony Bennett. With whatever 85-year-old man marries them in 10 years. That would be wild to imagine someone younger than us going to see Tony Bennett because their husband is a fan. That probably has to happen.
It has to happen. It has to happen.
No, but
we must make the prophecy come true.
No, but Barry Manilow, he came out of the closet 5 years ago.
Yeah.
He was always pretty clearly a homosexual man. Yeah.
He's like DaBaby.
He's like DaBaby.
He's clearly a homosexual
and then he sits
man.
on men's laps.
And then he gets rocked by men.
No, Barry Manilow got his start playing piano for Bette Midler when she would do her shows in gay bars in the 70s. Which it's like,
and no one.
It's like, did you bring her?
Did you? Were you just playing piano and you were like, I need a catty old broad?
Was it? Were you already her piano guy? And then she's like, we're gonna play this.
Or were you the gay bar piano guy?
And he's like, no, I'm straight. I'm singing a song about a woman named Mandy. It's like, well, the first 3 letters of that are.
And also, just say it out loud. Mandy.
Mandy.
I mean, come on. Is that like code?
Oh, Mandy.
I mean, this is clearly some sort of code.
You know, I never thought of that. Mandy.
Mandy.
Here you go. No, but he came out of the closet as an old man.
Yeah.
But you gotta figure it's just some old, like someone's old homophobic uncle.
Yeah.
It's just like, I guess I've got great gaydar. I called that shit 35 years ago.
I've been saying it.
I knew it before you fucking knew it. That's Barry Manilow. That's Barry Manilow for you.
That's Barry Manilow for you. All right, bring us home. Hot joke.
Hot joke.
Right off the dome. Make it up. Improv.
Ooh, give me a little setup.
Barry Manilow just came out of the closet.
Barry Manilow just came out of the closet, and then some audience like, that happened 5 years ago. And then everyone else
Shut the fuck up.
Who is Barry Manilow?
So Tony Bennett is doing another.
You guys know Tony Bennett? It's not him. It's a different guy.
So Billy Joel
I
just.
thought I should do that joke on stage. You guys know who Barry Manilow is? He's not Tony Bennett.
And I don't mean Tony Bennett.
He's not Tony Bennett.
I do not mean Tony Bennett, okay?
Tony Bennett's he loves the ladies. He sees a lady, he goes, Gaga! Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
No, man, here's my hot joke where I was just watching another comedian do a joke.
Yeah.
And then I don't have the patience to hear a setup and a punchline.
No.
So I'll often just go, well, that setup's unfinished. And then I walk away and then I write a joke.
Hit me. Do it.
People say it's hard to come on cocaine. I mean, I'm not trying to get risque. You hear those people like, oh, it's hard.
I have heard that.
It's hard to come on cocaine. But in my experience, if you just wait until the person's lifting their head up after the snort,
I don't like this joke.
You can pull your
no,
dick
destroy
out.
me. I'm a heckler.
you can ejaculate all over the mounds of cocaine while they're letting it slide down. They're still going, and then you just have to time it right.
You're supposed to destroy me. I was a heckler.
I'm Jerry Seinfeld School of Comedy. I do the brain. It's like, because that was Jerry's thing. He's like, no, you don't worry about what's going on in the room. You do your jokes.
Yeah.
And it's like him on a podcast.
just talking.
It's just doing the things he pre-planned to say.
Just will not and doesn't respond to anything they say.
Do you think in the future when self-driving cars are a thing,
yeah,
and you can just put them in you can retrofit it into an old car.
Okay.
Do you think like Seinfeld and Jay Leno will just like be on the road with a fleet of cars?
Oh, I bet. Yeah. They take over the wide lanes of Detroit.
Oh my God, Michigan is going to become heaven. I keep telling people Michigan's the new spot. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
Self-driving a fleet of cars.
Down those wide 8-lane
Wide
highways.
roads. Jack White's waving to you.
He's making a chair on the side of the road.
Fucking George Clinton's probably dead by then.
He's
not
high
already.
in the corner.
Is he dead already?
I think he's dead.
Which end of the show are you Googling that?
Will confirm or deny George Clinton's death. Tony Bennett's still kicking.
How old?
It's always so funny to say someone who's so old. It's always funny to say their age. He's 95 years old.
He's so much older than Barry Manilow. He's 16 years older than Barry Manilow.
You know Barry Manilow's age off the top of your head.
The audience doesn't
Why
even know
don't you
that.
come out of the
The
closet?
audience doesn't even know that I had my
Why
computer
don't you
closed.
come out of the closet? George Clinton, what do you think?
I want to say dead, but I think he's alive.
George Clinton, alive? Well, I'm not going to say well, but...
Yeah, that's specified on his Wikipedia. It says 94, parentheses, poor health.
81 years old.
81, that's it.
And thank you guys for listening.
He's only 2 years older than Barry Manilow?
Yes. They probably met.
Kill, fuck, marry.
George Clinton, Tony Bennett, and who?
Barry Manilow.
Oh, Barry Manilow? I'm gonna kill...
This has been funny.
I'm gonna kill George Clinton just to get him out of his misery.
Why? Oh, 'cause
I don't
he's
think
old,
he's
man.
very happy.
But Tony
and
Bennett's old.
I think he's very poor. But Tony Bennett is rich.
Why are you assuming either of those things?
I think Tony Bennett is rich. And isn't George
Why do you-
Clinton famously broke?
I mean, yeah, he doesn't have a lot of money. But at this point, who knows? Because all those behind the music were like 20 years ago.
He turned it around.
Yeah, he's probably rich now.
I want to do a behind the music where they figure out if those people are still doing bad.
No, that's the move. Is you just are a celebrity, you publicly go broke,
yeah.
and then you're like, I'm broke.
I'm going on tour.
And then you just quietly live in people's mansions rent free.
He's living in James Brown's house.
Yeah.
All right, it's been funny dinner, and you guys have been a delight. Thanks again to the live audience. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you. All right, and we'll be back on Sirius XM 283, The Boneyard, next week with funny dinner.
The Boneyard.